Hi, this is Rob from Access TV, and I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
And today we are, spoilers, talking about the ending of BioShock Infinite.
Yes, we certainly are.
Which is quite a exciting ending, isn't it, Dave?
You
finished it last night.
I did finish it last night, yeah. I had to hurry to get it done. I've been really taking my time with it because it's such a fantastically rich, deep game. And just been wandering around looking at everything, trying to find everything. But the weekend came and I knew if I didn't finish it soon it was going to get spoiled for me. Probably by this video.
That you were having to make today.
That I'm having to make. So I thought, let's get it done. And I was not disappointed. But I may have been a little confused.
As were many people. And now we're going to explain the ending.
Yes,
with our with our expertly trained scientific minds.
You say we, I might just sit and just sort of make affirmative sounds whilst you say things.
Right, should we get it started then?
Yes, let's get it started.
And here we are. The first amazingly shocking thing that you will discover in BioShock Infinite's ending is that this bit means nothing to Dave whatsoever, because like a big idiot he never played the original BioShock.
No.
And so this incredible bit in Rapture, the setting for the original, meant nothing to him. If you saw that poster on the wall there, attention, all bathysphere travel has been denied, that links into a little theory that I have come up with.
Because I assumed, Rob, that this was just a pointless, not pointless, but like a little nod to old BioShock, but you've got a theory.
It sort of is. It's a theory that I've come up with after reading it on the internet.
Right.
In the original BioShock, Andrew Ryan, who's sort of like BioShock's version of Comstock, he's the founder of Rapture, he locks down all of Rapture's systems, including the bathyspheres, which is what you're travelling in now, so that they only respond to him, to his DNA. And so the theory is that Booker could be Andrew Ryan in another alternate universe.
Because that's what this is all about.
Another choice, which obviously we're going to be talking about alternate universes quite a lot in the next 15 minutes. Yeah,
I mean, if you've played any of BioShock after the first couple of hours, alternate universes, alternate dimensions is going to be something you're very familiar with. But the end really gets to grips with choices and how these alternate universes all interrelate. So possibly,
and the seeming inability to change your choices.
It's
choices that are just there, that you've made, you can't change them.
This is a very nice little link with BioShock as well, isn't it? The whole lighthouse thing, both games starting.
Yeah, well, as we'll see in a minute, the lighthouse is they're sort of like, I think, Irrational Games, their little visual representation of the doorways to each of the universes, but we'll see that in a minute. For now, let's just look at how lovely the water effects look. And the stars.
Well, but are they stars?
No. Apparently not.
That's the thing, that's what Booker thinks.
We've not got to that yet though, Dave.
Well, if you're watching this video and you haven't completed BioShock...
Oh God, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What
so
are
I think
you doing?
We can, assume that people have.
What is that?
It's a key.
The one bit I don't understand is how Elizabeth gets this key. That was probably me being really dense.
She always had it.
I know she did, but where?
In order to bend the spoon, Rob, you have to realise there is no spoon. I think that applies here. I'm not sure how either. Open the door already. Let's get in. Let's get involved.
I just wanted to look at the moon. It looks really nice. Okay, so here's all the lighthouses, which Elizabeth is now explaining are doorways to all the infinite universes, infinite parallel universes that are out there.
And this is just like a way of representing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not suggesting that there are loads of lighthouses.
So at the beginning of BioShock 1, you enter Rapture through a lighthouse as well, so it's just like a little visual motif, I guess, Ken Levine and Irrational Games like to use.
Constants and variables.
And this is a real theory as well, isn't it? With a real scientific theory that there are multiple dimensions.
Well, Ken Levine has said that the game was based on the science of the time. Of course, the game is set in 1912 when Einstein's theory of general relativity was quite prominent. Part of that theory was this theory of there being infinite multiple universes where choices you've made, every time you make a choice, another alternate universe is created. So, and this is what this idea is based on here. There we've got an outside look at an alternate version of Booker and Elizabeth. So in one of those lighthouses, Dave, there exists a universe where BioShock Infinite is rubbish.
Really?
A rubbish game.
That'll be pointless.
Why?
Because it does.
Is
And
there
also-
also one where I'm king of the world?
Yeah. Yeah, they would be.
So many choices.
I guarantee, Dave, that if you had made certain choices in your life somehow, there would be a possibility, there is an outcome where you would end up being king of the world.
And how can I open one of these tears?
You can't, Dave.
I need to find Elizabeth.
Also, in one of these lighthouses, there exists a world where I live in California and I'm married to Mila Kunis.
No, I'm sorry, Rob. There's no amount of choices you could make that would make Mila Kunis marry you. Maybe you could, you know, live in Birmingham with her. You're not getting both bites of the cherry. You can't have Mila Kunis and California.
There are millions and millions of doorways there, Dave. One of them
No,
has that possibility.
No, I don't believe it.
Anyway, it's about to get important now.
Oh, there's something written on the wall there. We definitely should have looked at it.
I've gone through this door. Now this, as we will come to see quite shortly, is a pivotal moment in the story.
I was here.
This is after the Battle of Wounded Knee, which Booker, of course, took part in.
I was looking for.
And after the battle, he makes a choice.
Doesn't Comstock claim that he led the battle? He led the army at the Battle of Wounded Knee.
Comstock claims that he fought in the Battle of Wounded Knee, I think, in the section where you have to fight Slate in the game. Slate seems confused and annoyed
No, I don't want
with
to.
Comstock for claiming that he took part in the Battle of Wounded Knee.
And Booker agrees that he wasn't even
Yeah,
there.
Booker's
doesn't
like, Comstock wasn't there. But as we're about to find out, Comstock was there. But anyway, this choice here, this is Booker's original choice. The Booker that you play rejected this baptism
he?
here.
The Booker we've been throughout the game, this
Yeah.
is his actual
This
memory.
is the choice he made,
He's offered a baptism,
to wash away his sins after the massacre at Wounded Knee.
and he decides to refuse it.
He refuses the baptism on the grounds that no amount of dunking in rivers is going to wash him away of
And
all the
that
things he's done.
choice has set him on a path.
Mhm.
Then
Let's get out of here. Hey,
the path that he's been on
these
throughout
doors
this
of yours,
game.
they're all tears, right? We'll open one up. Open one up to Paris. I want to be shut of all this.
He still just wants to go to Paris, though.
Comstock's dead.
I'd like to take Elizabeth to Paris.
He was here. This way.
Would you like to go and see Revenge of the Jedi at the cinema with her?
I definitely would.
Look at those lighting effects. Beautiful.
It is very pretty. Okay, but now we're back in what we assume is Booker's apartment.
Yeah. Now this man here, Robert Lutece,
Hired me to find you.
is the man who obviously hired Booker. This is still our Booker, the Booker that we've been playing as throughout the entire game. Hired him to bring us the gun and wipe away the debt, which we've assumed up until now means go and rescue Elizabeth from Columbia.
This is wrong.
But as we're about to discover,
This.
Booker's got
There's no.
a baby.
Booker has a baby. Now what I really like about this scene is how,
There was no baby, and if there was, I
you know,
sure as
Booker's
hell
saying, I
wouldn't
don't
give
want
up
it, there's
this.
no baby, I'm not going to give you the baby.
You don't leave
And
this
Elizabeth
room.
comments how the only way he can get out of this room is to give Lutece the baby, which is also quite cool because that works in a literal video game sense as well. And that, I feel that happens quite a lot during the game.
Yeah.
That you cannot progress. You can't get out of this room until you go over there, pick up that baby by pressing square
Go ahead.
and handing it over to Lutece. That's how you progress.
And this baby's name is Anna,
Yeah.
who we've heard about throughout the game, little bits. I think Booker's knocked unconscious, isn't he? And he says Anna in his
Yeah.
sleep.
Find one of them.
Elizabeth asks him about her a couple of times, and he doesn't respond really, doesn't give her an answer. So all this time, when we've thought Lutece wanted us to get Elizabeth
The debt's paid.
from Columbia,
Mr. Comstock washes you of honours.
Yeah,
in
it's just
fact he wanted
you wanted Anna.
Booker's daughter, Anna.
And as we just heard there, Comstock has forgiven Booker all his sins and wiped away his debts.
There was
Right.
no baby. The
So now
deal
Booker's
was,
very
I go to
confused. Like, there wasn't a
Columbia to
baby.
get you.
What was going on? But then, nosebleed. As we've seen in the game before, nosebleeds occur when you go through a different dimension and like a subject's brain tries to
Come on.
recreate a memory or gets confused between its shared memories between alternate universes, and
Go on with our
that results in a
lives. You don't
nosebleed.
need
So Booker's nosebleed there suggests that his memory of there not being a baby,
He is alive in a
and of
million
his task being to extract Elizabeth from Columbia, are in fact memories that his brain has made up to replace what actually happened.
So we're back. Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. That was actually about Anna. Right. And this is it, right? So he gave him the baby, he gave him Anna, and now he's changed his mind.
Yeah.
So
And
he's
here we
gone to
see
get
Comstock. There's Lutece. There's Comstock. He's got Anna,
her. And there's a tear, presumably.
leading back to Columbia.
If I get caught, it's going to be a very long time before
And it's Rosalind Lutece on the other side, I think, who's sort of...
Yeah, and it's also worth pointing out that Rosalind and Robert Lutece aren't twins at all. They are the same person.
Yes, from different dimensions. And they found a way of getting together. Right, so Booker wants Anna, grabs Comstock. The
Comstock's
younger
not having any of it.
obviously.
And
I'd
tears.
punch him in the face.
That would work, wouldn't it, really? And here's the crucial bit. The tear closes up on Anna's hand. She loses her little finger. And then your brain goes, oh!
Who do we know
Dun,
who's
dun,
not
dun.
got a little finger?
Obvious Elizabeth.
So, we also know that that Elizabeth isn't Comstock's daughter because he was sterile because of all the radiation from the tears or something.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
my
gain
God.
that information from voxophones within the game.
So,
Comstock's exposure to tears made him sterile and also gave him cancer as well.
so Comstock's daughter, Elizabeth, is actually Booker's daughter, Anna.
Yes.
That's what we've worked out. That's where we're at right now.
Comstock has stolen Anna, and obviously
And
he's branded Anna's initials on his hand
I presume so he doesn't forget.
Yeah.
Although I think he has forgotten.
as penance for what he's done. And look what's happened to his apartment. He's let it go, to the dogs, really.
Yeah, it looks a bit like my apartment.
chance for us to be together.
So this is obviously like present day apartment.
And so this is taking us full circle back to the very beginning of the game. And here we see Booker. He's been taken into an alternate dimension now. The dimension that Comstock just escaped to. The dimension that we just saw Comstock escape into with Anna.
Right.
So now the Lutece twins, or Robert and Rosalind Lutece, have taken Booker over, and as you can see by the lovely visual effects, Booker is losing his memory and is creating new memories in their place.
Now, why is it, Rob, that the Luteces
Mm.
want Booker to get Elizabeth back?
Well, if you were paying attention to the voxophones in the game, Dave, you'll have learnt that Comstock had the Lutece twins killed
Right.
in case they should reveal the truth about Elizabeth, that truth being that Elizabeth isn't really his daughter.
And they killed Mrs. Comstock as well, right?
Also
Because
killed
she-
Lady Comstock, she could have revealed the truth as well.
Yeah.
But the Lutece twins, being like really clever scientists, can't really die because they exist in all these other alternate realities. So here they are again, and they decide their plan is to going back to Booker, bring him to Columbia to free Elizabeth from Comstock. Because Comstock knows he's dying, and he's kind of priming Elizabeth to be his heir. He wants her to go and wage war on the Sodom below.
Right,
A
with
phrase
the-
you will hear a lot throughout the game.
That's why Booker sees New York in flames, and,
Yeah.
and when he goes and sees old Elizabeth before all this, it's where she stood commanding the destruction of New York.
Yeah, that was quite a key moment as well, that seeing old Elizabeth. But we will explain that later. For now,
Right, so I think I've got my head around this.
here's Booker, and he wants to go and kill Comstock now. He's got to try and get rid of Comstock, because that is the only way he can avoid giving Anna away to Comstock.
The only way he doesn't give Anna away is if Comstock doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Then he won't have anyone to give it to. Right.
And if you notice there, Elizabeth here doesn't have the cage necklace around her neck anymore.
That's a good point.
This isn't the Elizabeth that has just gone through the door with us. This is a different Elizabeth, and there's
there's
another
another one.
Elizabeth. Or Anna should be cooler.
Chose to walk away.
Well, that's a good point.
And here are all the Elizabeths from various universes. I like that one on the left. That is how Elizabeth used to look before her design was slightly changed.
And these are all the Elizabeths from the well, not all of them, but you know, many different Elizabeths from many different dimensions.
And there we go. It transpires that Booker, when he accepted the baptism in an alternate reality, he became Comstock.
So hang on. So it's all about the baptism. In another reality, he accepts the baptism. He wipes away his sins and becomes a crazy prophet man called Comstock.
And founds Columbia, becomes sterile, and hatches a plan, with the Lutece twins' help, to steal his alternate self's daughter.
And so in Booker's quest to kill Comstock, he has to be drowned at the baptism where he accepts the baptism.
Yes.
And now that that's happened, all the Elizabeths are disappearing because they never get taken to Columbia by Comstock because Comstock's dead.
That is correct, Dave.
Oh.
That's the sad ending, the sad tragedy of the ending, that the Elizabeth you've grown to know and love throughout the entire game, at that point, can no longer exist.
Because, I mean, in many ways, I think she's going to have a bad life. But Booker doesn't seem like a great dad.
No.
A gambling debt man. He's got her in his New York apartment. She's not going to have access to all those books and stuff. That cool bird.
Yeah, she doesn't get to play with the cool bird. She doesn't get to fly around. Well, really, she was just locked in a tower anyway, so...
I bet she doesn't realise her potential and she just works at McDonald's.
Well, really, she doesn't have any magic powers, Dave.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
What does
Not
she,
at all.
What?
She only gained the ability to manipulate those tears because her little finger fell off and she existed in 2 dimensions at once, which gave her the ability to
Did
make
it?
the tears in the first
Well,
place.
I didn't know that. I
You
love
didn't
how you
pick
said
up
that. I
on
was like,
that.
oh, it's so obvious. But that
So
little
obvious.
finger is sort of, you know, that's gone. It's
And the
probably in
Lutece
the-
twins also had something to do with it as well. They're the ones behind everything. I think we should blame them.
But what we can
Robert and
understand
Roslyn Lutece.
is what we said. Comstock and Booker are the same man. It's just at a moment in time, a choice. It's the flip of a coin, isn't it? Every time there's a choice made, a new reality is
Yes.
decided, and the baptism choice resulted in Booker or Comstock.
Yes. And drowning him before he made the choice eliminated any possibility of Comstock existing. But surely it should also eliminate the possibility of the gambling Booker existing as well.
Well, it depends. It
because
depends
he was no longer able to choose to not accept the baptism either.
Because here's the other thing, Rob. I know you can explain this. Because there are multiple universes, so surely you'd have to drown all the Bookers. But you've got a cat.
Well, a
theory.
universe.
Tell me about the
I'm
cat.
not talking about Schrodinger's cat. A universe only exists or generates when a choice is made. When a choice is made, that is when the universe splits off in 2 directions. One choice will create one universe, another choice will create the other universe. So until the choice is made to accept or not accept the baptism, neither reality for Comstock or Booker after that exist.
Yes.
So after he has become Comstock and accepted that baptism, then there can be multiple universes where Comstock exists, because Comstock has been born and Comstock can make choices, and every time Comstock makes a choice, another reality exists where Comstock has made one choice or another. But if you take away the original choice that led to that creation of the universe where Comstock first existed, which is where the baptism is, then Comstock can't exist.
Now, I mean, I don't want to get into a massive debate here and have any problems with this, but you know, there are probably loads of Bookers going, you know, who made slightly different. There's a Booker who decided to wear stripy socks one day, and another one who chose plain socks, and that's the only difference. They're in 2 different universes, and they both got baptized. Don't you have to kill both of those? I'm so confused. It's probably
No, because
fine.
the sock choice doesn't affect Comstock. That sock
But only
choice,
one-
sock choice, maybe Booker's choice to wear stripy socks versus plain socks will affect, you know, say if he was going on a date that night,
But
and
I'm
the woman
talking
was
about-
like, "Oh my god, you got stripy socks on. I'm not going on a
talking
second
about-
date with you."
I'm talking about the Battle of Wounded Knee.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm going to fight with my stripy socks, and he goes, I'm going to fight with my plain socks. And at the end of the battle, there's 2 guys, one with stripy socks, one with plain socks, and they both go, God, let's get baptized.
Yeah.
And they both accept baptism in their different socks.
Oh, so you're saying that there's
Multiple
choices,
there's-
multiple
I mean,
Bookers
really,
who chose to have a baptism.
Booker needs to be killed. I think. Ah!
Well, in reality, Dave, this is all just it's just theoretical. It's just theoretical physics that aren't real anyway, and it's all thought experiments that you can't really explain. So there's no point in trying to explain it. This is the story that Irrational have made, and we're just explaining it.
I think it's
the best of our
it's a brilliant
core
story.
ability.
What I like, Rob, is that there are, you know, whoever's listened to this video this far, watched this video this far, there's
Well
another
done.
version of themselves who didn't watch it, and they're way happier.
That is true. That is correct.
Either way, if you've watched this and you haven't played BioShock, you are an idiot, but you must still go and play it because it's a fantastic game. Even though in the ending you probably might be struggling to get your head around it a little bit. So
In a literal sense, it makes perfect sense, but it's just when you start talking about, like what you just said, Dave. How is there only one choice?
That's why we must edit that out of the video.
No, we'll put that in there. That was
Mr.
interesting.
Levine doesn't get sad. But no, it's an absolutely fantastic game.
And at the end of the credits, we're back in Booker's apartment again on the 8th of October, 1893.
Right.
Which is 19 years before the events of BioShock Infinite started, and is the day that he gave Anna away to Robert Lutece.
Right.
But Robert Lutece isn't here.
And Comstock doesn't exist.
Comstock doesn't exist because he's been drowned at source.
So,
and there's a little baby jingle playing, and Booker opens the door and there's a crib. And it's left ambiguous, just like the end of Inception.
well, there you go. I hope that's cleared. It's sort of answered loads of questions and
It's confused me more, to be honest.
posed many more questions. But either way, let us know what we've missed in the comments.
Please do.